Now I can't lie to you, if you remember this beef, you're definitely an OG. Now obviously we all remember what went down with Summers and Homicide Gang a while ago. Now that beef went pretty viral. After the show, Summers was posted up on his IG acting like he was YoungBoy. That man was having the time of his life. Then right after stunning on IG about how he stood on business, he hopped on a Louisiana beat to talk his shit. Hey, quick side note, listen, I don't know about you, but I know he's been occasionally dropping Trillers and SoundCloud throwaways with these YB type beats since like 2022. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind a Louisiana tape from this man. He's pretty nice on these beats. But anyway, I'm really here to remind you of the conflict between two other dudes from each respective group that happened a couple years back, where there was also tension between Kankan and Ken Carson. Now we're gonna take it back to 2021, where this whole thing first began. Man, it's been almost 4 years since this beef, bro. I swear the concept of time after 2020 has just become a blur. Now, if y'all weren't listening to either of these dudes at the time, I'ma have y'all know that they're pretty much neck and neck. Like, obviously people knew that Can, Lone, and Homicide Gang were signed to Cardi, but that didn't blow them up right away. Though of course it definitely helped push their careers forward, and even make their careers in general. Besides Lone, he's been dropping amazing music during his whole Forever Alive, Addicted to Money era, way before getting signed. If you know, you know, man. But Summers and Kankan, and really all of Slay World and its affiliates. Now 2021 was pretty much the last year Slay World was a thing, but yeah, at the time, Slay was just infamously underground, not only because of their innovation and different sounds that are still very popular and inspired the majority of the up and coming rappers, but also because of their antics and controversies.
It's a Prairie 45 in here and we point a 9.
Now I specifically remember this beef because of how heavily documented it was. Like every fucking word uttered by either side was like a monumental event. They're treating it like the underground civil war. Basically, to put it into perspective for the new gens, it was like an underground Drake versus Kendrick, I swear. So, 2021, Ken drops a Butterfly music video of his Teen X Relapsed EP, where after promoting it on his IG, a fan, you know where this is going. Y'all know how all these beefs start. It always starts with a fan instigating shit, or really just being unnecessary in replies or IG live. And all that was done here was a fan tagging Ken. To which Ken Carson then replied, "Don't add no biting ass rappers under my shit." Now obviously, I'm not gonna sit here and give y'all a PhD level report theorizing what led to Ken Carson replying to this fan specifically out of all the replies. Probably even tagging other rappers too. But listen though, if we turn it back a little bit here to the music they were making at the time, we'll find that both Kankan and Ken Carson were hopping on similar types of beats in early 2021. You know, the hyperpop production. And also during that time, Ken was dropping a lot of songs on rage beats too. That's it. Man, wasn't fucking everybody making rage music then? This started the beef? What in the fuck? So after this comment, obviously underground pages and channels picked it up and started milking the shit out of this one reply, knowing that some shit was about to start. Then fans went on to press Kankan on his IG lives, continuing to instigate the shit out of this beef for their own entertainment. Then in another live, god damn, I understand you like their music or whatever, but can y'all fans get a fucking life? God damn. Anyway, on another live, Can says he doesn't give a fuck who disses him because he can drop whenever you want. Which was facts, I can't lie. If y'all were there, you would know Ken Carson was taking a sweet time to drop Project X. That man was delaying that shit as much as possible. Or maybe his boss just wasn't giving him the green light to drop. This comment clearly hurt Ken's feelings, which led him to drop the second installment to his SoundCloud exclusive before the tape throwaway project, Lost Files. Now Lost Files 2 is actually a fucking classic. So if this entire beef was a motivation for Ken to continue the Lost Files series, just so he can prove that he can drop whenever, then it's all good. You understand? And I'm telling you though, Lost Files 2 to this day has some of my personal favorite Ken songs, man. I remember having Glock 19 as the outro to my videos back in 2021, and then using instrumentals from that tape that entire 21, 22 era of my channel. Damn. But yeah, there's something about Lost Files throwaways Ken Carson, man. Like, that shit really does hit different. Lost Files 2 to 4, and also X2-3. and this beef might have been the reason we continued getting these throwaway projects. Now, Lost Files 2 also featured Teen Bean, which ended up blowing up. That had a sneak diss. You wanna swag like me? He wanna be like Teen X. So yeah, and after that, Kankan, as he was doing a lot then, was on IG Live in the studio smoking and recording for his album? Yeah, believe it or not, Mr. Send Beats himself did at one point drop music consistently, full-length projects even. Now during this IG Live, Carson pulled up, looking for smoke, wanting to get active with Can, which didn't lead to fuck all. Come on now. I've made 2 other videos on these internet rap beefs, and even just as a listener, you should know by now, these are equivalent to Xbox Live beefs over Modern Warfare 2. Minus the racism though, you understand? But yeah, Can obviously seen the Can comments, because a little bit later he was on with Candy Paint, he pinned this, and that was kind of it for the 2021 beef. It didn't really lead to anything, maybe a couple of laughs and funny IG lives, led to Lost Files 2, a little bit of tension, that's it. Both had upcoming projects, with Ken dropping the long-awaited Project X after starving his fans with like 10 songs in his discography ranging across 3 EPs, and Can dropping Double R, which had more of the kind of beats that Carson was mad at him for hopping on. Man, Double R is such an underrated project, man. I'm a day one enjoyer of that album. So many gems on there. But yeah, fans were kind of speculating that all this was a publicity stunt for promo. Now we move on to 2022. Yes, this fucking stupid ass beef reignited an entire year later. Summers drops Fallen Raven. After capping about and delaying his 2 long-awaited EPs, the Plug-in Be What We Have 2 and the Turn Evolve 2, he decided to just put them together and also throw in a bit of that Intoxicated 2, which probably will never come out at this point, and drop this masterpiece of an album. Since Summers is the most humble man alive since J. Cole. Matter of fact, J. Cole ain't got shit on Summers. You understand? After dropping the album, he was feeling himself and posted his streaming numbers to his story, which were really good. Ken, who despite trying his hardest to maintain the image of being mysterious, out the way, and nonchalant, got mad and tweeted, "Post your racks, gang. Your favorite has yet to tour. It won't sell." Now, as we know, Summers and Kankan are 2 of the absolute worst fucking performers to grace God's green earth. This is an objective fact with no hint of doubt, okay? We've seen Summers shows, we've seen Can on Rolling Loud. Only highlight I've seen of either of them performing was when Summers hit that high note. Apparently that's a high note to underground fans. My goat could never, I swear to God. But yeah, we know Reno and Can got some amazing music. 2 of my favorite rappers. But they can't fucking perform for shit! That's a fact! Can, as we know, he has the energy, you know? Even though all he does is fucking scream. But yeah, honestly, anybody can be a better performer than these 2. The bar is just too low. Even Dave Blunt sitting on his couch the entire set. Like, at least he's singing his heart out. Anyway, then Ken DM'd Reno telling Kankan to respond to his DM about running the fade. Basically meaning that those nonchalant and out the way tweets were about Kankan and not Summers. Basically, he sent him a screenshot of his DM to Can with no response. Quick side note here, but now that I see this little story here, I just remembered this was the era where these 2 grown-ass men had each other as their profile pics. Well, don't you listen to New York Drill, where these dudes call their homies My Heart? Listen, I'm just saying there gotta be a line somewhere. Having your homie as your profile pic, calling another man My Heart. Listen, fire for that. You understand?
Fire for that. Fire for that? Oh man, I watch 2 man fight for balls.
Like, just because both of you tow guns in your IG photos and music videos, like, hey man. Anyway, we got a bit sidetracked there with the Batty trial. Pause. So let's get back into it. Around this time, fans were chanting "fuck Kankan" at Ken concerts. I mean, joke's on them, that's his IG handle. But nah man, underground fans are just as bad as drill fans, I swear. Actually no, that's too fucking far. Hell no. Then, like a month after the initial stirring, Kankan dropped the Post Your Racks Gang diss on SoundCloud, obviously in response to the tweet. Now the thing Kankan still does have on Carson is being able to drop whenever, and not just on SoundCloud like Ken Carson does with his throwaways. Then a month later, Ken drops Come Outside on a host SoundCloud page, which kinda just proves Kankan right, to be honest. And I guess he called it Come Outside because Can didn't drop the low a year prior on his IG live. This is as deep as it gets with these guys, you understand? So yeah, both are your average diss songs. Kankan's was way better though, I can't lie. I swear, Kankan's turn songs from 2021 to 2022 were just something else, man. I don't know what happened to the kickback, scammers from Canada Can, but this man does not make music like that anymore. But yeah, that's kinda it. If you were there when all this was going down, hey man, it was kinda wild. But since then, you know, Ken's been going up, and Kankan's just been dropping clothes and being a father, I guess. Shit just changes, man. We're all getting fucking old. There's no point in fighting over stupid, meaningless shit anymore. We already got enough problems in our lives, man.
All these hoes are remaining the same. I'm still the same nigga from back then, you know I ain't changed. Cutting up, adding up, nigga head now, I'm getting paper cuts. Running that shit through the money machine, I don't give a fuck. I'm running in and out of sex, feel like I don't give a fuck. I'm running in and out of bank, like I don't give a fuck. Put his ass up in the box, yeah, you know he give forever. That's till the candle made it to the top, and you niggas be